All right. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Om Jnanatimrandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Uttapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parjana Sahitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamsya Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha Tarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradhayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namni Gaura Dushena Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadale Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yatkripa Tamaham Mande Shri Gurun Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Ishwaram Harihi Om Tatsat. Hare Krishna. So thank you all for joining in for this inaugural session, or I can say the first session of our new book. After we've completed Beyond Birth and Death, and we've completed 7 books with the days of Guru and Gauranga. So today we are venturing into the 8th book. This is in the order that's given by His Grace Radhisham Prabhu. So this book is entitled Perfect Questions, Perfect Answers. Right? In Bhagavatam also there is a verse wherein it talks about how every day, right, our entire day from morning to night is only asking questions and getting answers. But if we know to ask the right questions, then our life will become perfect. So now we are going to understand what are those perfect questions, what are those perfect answers given by Srila Prabhupada that can help us perfect our life. So let's quickly move on to perfect questions, perfect answers. So in this book, typically is a conversation between Bob Cohen, Mr. Bob Cohen and Srila Prabhupada, wherein Mr. Bob Cohen is asking Srila Prabhupada various questions, and Prabhupada is actually answering those questions, right? So Mr. Bob Cohen is actually, he's from a Peace Foundation movement, a Peace Corps worker. That's what is mentioned here. So he questions Srila Prabhupada, and Prabhupada is actually giving answers to all those questions, which will be relevant in today's day and time for us to practice Krishna consciousness very nicely. So let us quickly go on to the introduction of this particular book. Devotees can raise your hands, and then we can start reading the book, and then we'll try to discuss this book. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Leela Nandini Mataji. Yeah, Mataji, go ahead. Introduction. Yes.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Dandatpranam. Yes.
Yeah. Introduction. God's spiritual life. Those were such vague terms to me before I met Srila Prabhupada. I have always been interested in religion, but before I met the Krishna conscious devotees, somehow I did not have the proper perspective needed to inquire fruitfully about spiritual life. The existence of a creator is only common sense, but who is God? Who am I? I had been to Hebrew school and had studied Oriental philosophy, but I could never get satisfying answers to my questions. I first heard the Hare Krishna mantra in Greenwich Village, New York, in late 1968. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
The chanting was
The
captivating.
chanting was captivating and it made me feel very comfortable. The mantra stuck in my mind, and I soon regretted that I had not taken a uh, magazine from the devotees. As explained to me later, a transcendental seed had been planted that could eventually ripen into love of Godhead. Several months later, I came across a card with the Hare Krishna mantra on it. The card promised, chant these names of God and your life will be sublime. I would occasionally chant, and I found that the mantra did, in fact, give me a feeling of peace of mind. After graduating from college with a BS in chemistry, I joined the Peace Corps in 1971 and went to India as a science teacher. In India, I inquired about the Hare Krishna movement. I was attracted by the chanting and intrigued by the philosophy, and I was curious about the movement's authenticity. I had visited the Krishna temple in New York several times before going to India, but I did not consider the seemingly austere life of a devotee for myself. In India, I met the Krishna conscious devotees at a festival they were holding in Calcutta during October of 1971. The devotees explained to me the purpose of yoga and the need to inquire about spiritual life. I began to feel that the rituals and ceremonies they practiced were not dull, sentimental obligations, but a real, sensible way of life. As first, however, it was very difficult for me to understand the philosophy of Krishna consciousness. In some many subtle ways, my Western upbringing prevented me from seeing things that were as plain as the nose on my face. Fortunately, the devotees convinced me of the need to practice some few basic austerities, and in this way, I began to gain some insight into spiritual life. I can now recall how distant and tenuous were my concepts of spirituality and the transcendental existence. I met Srila Prabhupada briefly at this time in November of 1971, and shortly thereafter, I decided to become a vegetarian. I was proud of being a vegetarian, but later, Srila Prabhupada reminded me that even pigeons are too. In
Hare Krishna.
February,
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, so this is very profound statement by Prabhupada, right? Actually, when Mr. Bob Cohen actually asked Srila Prabhupada that it is difficult for him to follow austerities, and then Prabhupada told him, just follow some basic austerities. One of Prabhupada's disciples was actually mentioning during Srila Prabhupada's 125th Vyasa Puja that we celebrated 2 years back. Many of the disciples of Srila Prabhupada had actually come and spoke in the Prabhupada Smaran Utsav. That time, I think His Grace Shruti Kirti Prabhu was saying, like Prabhupada actually initially he said, don't have to give up anything. Just add Krishna to your life, right? You don't have to give up anything, right? Like that he was used to tell the devotees. And Prabhu was saying, ultimately we gave up everything, right? We just tried to add Krishna in our life. But because we wanted to please Srila Prabhupada, we gave up everything else, whatever is not required for our advancement in Krishna consciousness. So like that here also we see how Prabhupada is telling him just follow some basic austerities. And then when he became proud of being a vegetarian, some of us also think, right, we become vegetarians, we're following regulative principles, we are chanting 16 rounds of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. But Prabhupada is saying, even pigeons are vegetarians. So we'll see this transformation of how Mr. Bob Cohen actually, at the end of the book, we will see the transformation that has happened just because he was asking these questions to Srila Prabhupada and he was following the instructions of Srila Prabhupada. Yeah. So who'll read now? Yeah. Suprabha Sumitra Mataji, go ahead. In February of 1972.
In February of 1972, I met some devotees in Calcutta who invited me to a festival in Mayapur, a holy island 90 miles to the north. The festival was to be held in honor of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is considered an incarnation of Krishna himself. I had been planning a trip to Nepal, but the Peace Corps denied me permission to leave India, and so I went to Mayapur. I left for Mayapur planning to stay for 2 days at the most, but I ended up staying a week. I was the only Western non-devotee on the island, and since I was living with the devotee on their land, This was a unique opportunity to learn intimately about Krishna consciousness. On the third day of the festival, I was invited to see Srila Prabhupada. He was living in a small hut, half brick and half thatched, with 2 or 3 pieces of simple furniture. Srila Prabhupada asked me to be seated and then asked how I was and whether I had any questions. The devotees had explained to me that Srila Prabhupada could answer my questions because he represents a disciplic succession of spiritual masters. I thought that Srila Prabhupada might really know what is going on in the world. After all, his devotees claimed this, and I admired and respected them. So, with this in mind, I began to ask my questions. Inadvertently, I had approached a guru, a spiritual master, in the prescribed way by submissively asking questions about spiritual life. Srila Prabhupada seemed pleased with me, and over the next several days, he answered my questions. I asked them mostly from an academic point of view, but he always gave me personal answers so that I would actually spiritualize my life. His answers were logical, scientific, satisfying, and amazingly lucid. But I met Srila Prabhupada and his disciples. Spiritual life was always obscure and nebulous. But the discussion with Srila Prabhupada were realistic, clear, and exciting. Srila Prabhupada was patiently trying to help me understand that Krishna, God, is the supreme enjoyer, supreme friend, and supreme proprietor. I put forward many impediments to accepting the obvious, that I would have to become serious about God consciousness to understand God. But Srila Prabhupada relentlessly yet kindly urged me on, even though I had little ability to express myself. Srila Prabhupada understood my every inquiry and answered perfectly. Bob Cohen, August 14, 1974.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So, Srila Prabhupada relentlessly, that was how Srila Prabhupada actually, because he sacrificed so much, right? In the initial stages, we read in Srila Prabhupada Lilamrit, how Srila Prabhupada used to cook, Prabhupada used to do kirtan, Prabhupada used to give the Bhagavad Gita class, Prabhupada used to serve the prasadam to all the devotees, all the so-called guests who had come there, and then Prabhupada used to wash the vessels. And in Prabhupada Lilamrita, had said that after many months of doing this, one person came and asked Prabhupada, can I serve you? Can I help you in any way? And that was Kirtanananda Prabhu, right? Keith. Prabhu. Later on, he became Kirtanananda Maharaj, right? So he was the first person, and Prabhupada then was so grateful to Keith at that time. And he said, okay, you can help me wash the vessels like that. So in this way, Srila Prabhupada was doing everything. He was a one-man army, right? He brought everyone to Krishna consciousness because he sincerely urged everybody. And actually, by his own, they say Siddhanta, Sadhachar, and Seva. And Seva Bhav, he actually attracted everybody else into Krishna consciousness. So now we are going into chapter 1, which is entitled Krishna, the all attractive, right? Sarvam Akarshati iti Krishna, right? The meaning Krishna itself means all attractive. February 27th, 1972. This Mr. Bob Cohen's questions are starting here, and these are all answers by Srila Prabhupada. It's a very interesting book and very interesting set of questions. So we'll request Rajya Lakshmi Mataji, you can unmute and read. Hare Krishna. Yes.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Bob,
Hare Krishna.
what is a scientist? Srila Prabhupada, one who knows things as they are. Bob, he thinks he knows things as they are. Srila
Okay, Hare Krishna Mataji. I'll unmute Harini Mataji also. So one can be Bob and one can be Prabhupada, right? So in that way we can read. Yeah.
Sure, Mataji. Can you start from the beginning then?
Yes. What is a scientist?
What is a scientist?
One who knows things as they are.
He thinks he knows things as they are.
What?
He hopes he knows things as they are.
No, he's supposed to know. We approach for scientists because he's supposed to do things correctly. A scientist means one who knows things as they are. Krishna means all attractive.
All attractive?
Yes. So unless God is all attractive, how can he be God? A man is important when he is attractive, is it not?
It is so.
So God must be attractive and attractive for all. Therefore, if God has many names, or if you want to give any name to God, only Krishna can be given.
But why only the name Krishna?
Because he is all attractive. Krishna means all attractive.
Oh, I see.
Yes, God has no name. but by his qualities we give him names. If a man is very beautiful, we call him beautiful. If a man is very intelligent, we call him wise. So the name is given according to the quality. Because God is all attractive, the name Krishna can be applied only to him. Krishna means all attractive. It includes everything.
But what about a name meaning all powerful?
Yes. Unless you are powerful, how can you be all attractive?
An American
devotee. Yep.
An American devotee, Srila Prabhupada's secretary. It includes everything.
Everything. He must be very beautiful. He must be very wise. He must be very powerful. He must be very famous.
Is Krishna attractive to rascals?
Oh, yes. He was the greatest rascal also.
How is that?
Because he was always teasing the gopis.
Teasing?
Yes, sometimes when Radharani would go out, Krishna would attack her. And when she would fall down, Krishna, don't torture me in that way, they would fall down. And Krishna would take the opportunity and kiss her. So Radharani was very pleased, but superficially, Krishna was the greatest rascal. So unless rascaldom is in Krishna, how could rascaldom be existent in the world? Our formula of God is that He is the source of everything. Unless rascaldom is in Krishna, how can it be manifest? Because He is the source of everything. But His rascaldom is so nice. Can you scroll down, Mataji?
Let
He's
everyone.
so nice that everyone worship His rascaldom.
Okay, Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. We'll just discuss this part of it. Right, very, very important to understand for us here. Prabhupada is explaining that Krishna is a rascal, right? Krishna's rascaldom is also there in Krishna. So here it is very important, right? We were just discussing how Bilva Mangal Thakur has written this beautiful song, right? Raje prasidham navanita choram gopangananam chadukula choram aneka janmarjita papa choram Choragraganyam Purusham Namami. Right? If anybody steals in this material world, what do we do? That person is put into the prison. Right? That person is given a punishment. But the master of all thieves is Krishna. He steals butter. Why? Because the gopis want Krishna to steal their butter. It's not that Krishna is in need of butter, but when Krishna is stealing, that also attracts the heart of the gopis. And he is doing that only to please the gopis. Right? Although it seems to be rascaldom, but Krishna is doing it for the pleasure of his devotees. That is why Krishna is worshipped and glorified as the greatest thief, Navanita Choram, like that. So here, whatever we have, right? We are all Mame Vamsho, Jiva Loke, Jiva Bhuta, Sanatana. We are all parts and parcels of the Lord. So whatever we feel, the origin of that is in Krishna. Right? Krishna himself tells in Bhagavad Gita 10.8, Aham sarvasya prabhavo mataha sarvam pravartate iti matva vajante ma buddha bhava samanvitaha. Right? Krishna himself is saying, I am the source of everything. Aham sarvasya prabhavo mataha sarvam pravartate. Everything emanates from me. Right? Aham sarvasya prabhavo mataha sarvam pravartate iti matva vajante mam. Right? The wise who know this, what do? They engage in glorifying me. So as we are reading this, when, Prabhupada is saying, right, that Krishna would take the opportunity and kiss Srimati Radharani, etc., then we should understand that Krishna is Purna Purushottam Bhagavan, right? And Krishna, when he wanted to enjoy, he expanded himself as Srimati Radharani. And then when Krishna and Radharani, they came together, they came as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Right? So, Shri Radhaya Pranayam Kritir Ladini Shakti Rasmat Ekat Manav Abhibhuvi Pura Deha Vedam Gatauto. Right? So, when they want to enjoy separately, they expand into Krishna and Radharani. So, when Krishna enjoys with Srimati Radharani, we should understand that we are all supposed to be enjoyed by Lord Shri Krishna. Right? Radharani is the pleasure potency of the Lord, Antaranga Shakti. Maya Devi is the Bahiranga energy of the Lord. We are all Tatastha Shakti of the Lord. Right? We are all energies of the Lord. Some are internal energy, some are external energy, and we are marginal energy of the Lord. So we should understand that we are all to be enjoyed by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Right? Jivera Swarupa Hoye, Krishnera, Nityadas. So we are all servants of the Lord. That is why in every opportunity we should see in this situation, how can I serve Guru and Gauranga? Why Guru? Because Guru will tell us what pleases Krishna, right? Because we are not so fortunate that Arjuna could get direct guidance from Krishna. But we are not so fortunate. Even if Krishna comes in front of us and stands before us, we will not be able to recognize Krishna, right? Just like Duryodhana also saw Krishna, but he saw Krishna as an enemy. Shishupal saw Krishna, Kamsa saw Krishna. But what Arjuna understood and served Krishna, none of them could do, right? Similarly, we don't know how to please Krishna. But how do we learn how to please Krishna? By following the instructions of Guru, right? When we follow the instructions of Guru, then we automatically please Krishna, right? We always sing in the morning, right? Yasya prasadat bhagavat prasado yasya prasadan nagati kutopi Vyayanstuvam stasya yasya stri sandhyam Mande Guru Shri Charanarvindam. Yasya prasadat bhagavat prasad. If we please our spiritual master, if we please Srila Prabhupada, how can we please Srila Prabhupada? We can please Srila Prabhupada when we are reading Srila Prabhupada's books. Now we are pleasing Srila Prabhupada. When we chant our minimum 16 rounds of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, we are pleasing Prabhupada. When we are following the 4 regulative principles, we are pleasing Prabhupada. When we are distributing Srila Prabhupada's books, we are pleasing Prabhupada. When we are pleasing Prabhupada, we will please Lord Sri Krishna. So now Mr. Bob is going to ask about some rascals who are not good. In the material world, the word rascal means somebody who's not following rules and regulations, who is trying to dominate or cause harm to another person like that. So that's why they are not so good. But Krishna's rascaldom is so pleasing, and he is doing those naughty things like stealing butter, etc., only for the pleasure of the gopis. And then Bilvamal Thakur is actually praying here that Kala Graha in my heart, which is like a prison house, which is so dark. It's a Kala Graha. I want to imprison you in my heart forever and ever. That is the desire of our Vaishnava Acharyas. So Krishna being a rascal itself is an opulence for him. And that is why he is also glorified for that also. That is what we need to understand as we are studying these pages of perfect questions and perfect answers. Yeah. So let's go on. Who wants to read? Harini Mataji. Okay. You want to continue? Okay. Anyone else who wants to read? We have another 10 minutes. So maybe we can take 3-4 devotees. Yeah. Jochna Mataji, go ahead.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yeah. You can read Bob. I'll be Prabhupada. Okay. Sridhar Prabhu, you can be Prabhupada. Yeah. Yes.
What about the rascals who are not so nice? Srila Prabhupada. Who is reading?
No. Prabhu, please unmute yourself, Prabhu.
Oh, okay. Hare Krishna. Dandot Pranam Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Dandavat.
No, rascaldom is not nice, but Krishna is absolute. He is God. Therefore, his rascalism is also good. Krishna is all good. God is good. Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Therefore, when he became a rascal, that is also good. That is, Krishna rascaldom is good. But when it is practiced by Krishna, because he is absolute.
Prabhu, rascaldom is not good, but when it is practiced by Krishna,
rascaldom is not good, but when it is practiced by Krishna, because he is absolutely good, that rascaldom is also good. That this is one. This one has to understand.
Are there some people who do not find Krishna attractive?
No, all people will find him attractive. Who is not attracted? Just give an example. This man or this living entity is not attracted to Krishna. Just find such a person.
Somebody who wishes to do things in life that he may feel are wrong, but who wishes to gain power or prestige or money.
Yes.
May find God unattractive. He may not find God attractive because God gives him guilt.
No, not God. His attraction is to become powerful. A man wants to become powerful or rich, is it not? But nobody is richer than Krishna. Therefore, Krishna is attractive to him.
If a person who wants to become rich prays to Krishna, will he become rich?
Oh, yes.
He can become rich through this means?
Oh, yes. because Krishna is all powerful. If you pray to Krishna to become rich, Krishna will make you rich.
And if somebody lives an evil life but prays to become rich, he may still become rich?
Yes, praying to Krishna is not evil.
Oh, yes.
Somehow or other he prays to Krishna. So you cannot say that he is evil.
Yes.
Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Apichit Suran Suracha Bhajate Mam Bhaja Anaya. But have you read it?
Yes. The Sanskrit I don't know, but the English I do.
Hmm.
Even if the most evil man prays to me,
Yes.
he will be elevated.
Yes. As soon as he begins to pray to Krishna, that is not evil. Therefore, he is all attractive. It is said in the Vedas that the absolute truth or the supreme personality of Godhead is the reservoir of all pleasure. Raso Vanisha, everyone hankering after someone because he realized some mellows in it.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Hari Bol, Dandat Pranam. So very beautiful, isn't it? Mr. Bob is asking Srila Prabhupada, even if somebody, an evil person, if he wants to become rich, can he become rich? And Prabhupada saying, yes, he can become rich because he will not remain evil anymore. Right? In Bhagavad Gita also, Krishna talks about the 4 kind of people who try to approach Krishna. Chaturvida bhajante mam, jana sukritinu arjuna, artho jignashu artharthi jnanicha bharatarshaba. Right? Artharthi is a person who is desirous of wealth. Right? Artho is one who is desiring wealth. Right? So Artho, Jignashu, and one who is inquiring about the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and Jnani, the 4 kinds of people. One is one who wants to get over his misery. Second is a person who is desirous of getting wealth. And third is a person who wants to inquire about the absolute truth. And Jnani is a person who already knows that Krishna is the Lord, and then he approaches him. And then what happens to all these 4 people? They are Jana, Sukurjino, Arjuna. They are all pious people. Why? Because they decided to go to Krishna. Although they have material desires, they want to be relieved of suffering. They are going to Krishna. So they are all Jana, Sukurjino, Arjuna. Right? There is a verse also which says, Akama Sarva Kamova Moksha Kam Udaradi Tivrena Bhakti Yogena Yajeta Purusham Param. Right? When we worship the Supreme Lord, even though we may have all kinds of material desires, but if we pray to Krishna, then like Dhruv Maharaj, he was praying to Vasudev, right? He was praying to Krishna, and although he had material desire to have to get a kingdom that is much higher than his forefather, even Brahma, but although his desire was fulfilled by the Lord also purified his heart, that when he actually got the kingdom, he said, "Oh Krishna, I was asking and desiring for broken glass, but you have actually given me your own darshan, right? You've given me a diamond of your own darshan, but I was asking simply for broken pieces of glass." So similarly, even when we have a lot of desires, if we pray to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna, then we don't remain evil, even though we may be evil, right? We are all evil. We have all been envious. That is why we are in this material world. We have lust, anger, greed, pride, envy, illusion, right? We have all of these anarthas in us. But if we pray to Krishna, then we will not remain any longer evil. Why? Because the purification, Cheto Darpana Marjanam, has started to happen. Right? Also reminding us of the Gundicha Marjana Leela, right? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he was actually cleaning the Gundicha temple, what happened? Initially, big dust particles came out that actually represents all of our anarthas, like lust, anger, greed, gross anarthas, right? Being envious, lust, anger, greed, becoming pride, envy, illusion, all that, right? And then what happens? So slowly, as we take up the process of Krishna consciousness, as we are chanting Hare Krishna, what happens? Our heart gets purified. Cheto Darpana Marjanam. And then when that happens, then what happens? Subtle anarthas come out. Like when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, once the big dust, all of them were collected, then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu continued with the cleaning, and then small dust particles, stones, and all came up. right? That refers to our subtle anarthas, our desire for name, fame, glory, right? All that is our subtle anarthas. And then we continue the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and then our heart becomes more and more and more purified. And then what happens? Our heart becomes a place where Shri Radha and Krishna will come and want to reside. Right? Finally, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually poured water in the entire temple, and then the whole temple became so clean, not a speck of dust was there. Right? Similarly, when we continue to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, and what happens? Our heart becomes very much purified. That Sri Radha and Krishna, we want to come and dance in our heart. And then how do we realize that? When we get more desire to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, when we want to chant Hare Krishna more and more and more, like Rupa Goswami says, Tunde Tandamini Ratim Vitanute, Tundavali Labdhi. I want millions of ears, I want millions of mouths. So you can always chant Hare Krishna and hear the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And Prabhupada also makes a beautiful point here. Api chet suduracharo bhajatema ananyabhag sadhureva samantavyaha. Right? Even if a person is extremely evil, right? Even if he's committed sinful activities, bhajatema ananyabhag. If you worship Krishna exclusively, then what happens? All of our evil tendencies, our sinful tendencies, because of which we are committing sinful actions, those tendencies will be uprooted. Those sinful propensities will be uprooted because of taking shelter of the holy names of the Lord, taking shelter of a bona fide representative of the Lord, the spiritual master. So that is what it is. So somebody does not remain evil after having taken up to this process of Krishna consciousness. Why? Because Krishna is the reservoir of all pleasure, right? What is that? Nama Chintamani Krishna Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha. Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha. He is the reservoir of all pleasure, the reservoir of all the rasas. Right? So when and everybody finds something attractive in Krishna, right? When we see somebody in the material world also, right? We find somebody very famous, we're attracted to him. Like Amitabh Bachchan is there, we get attracted to him. Similarly, when we find somebody very beautiful, right? Then we get attracted to that person also. Like for example, Aishwarya Rai, very beautiful. Although such beauty and such wealth and such fame are temporary, right? It is not going to last forever, right? Prabhupada mentions the shelf life, right, of an actress or something is like hardly 5 to 7 years. After that, that person cannot act because the beauty fades away with time. But Krishna's beauty, Krishna's strength, Krishna's wealth only grows because it's unlimited. There is unlimited. So there is no question of reduction. Right? When we are attracted to these people who have these opulences in the material world, which can fade away, how much more we have to be attracted to Lord Shri Krishna, whose opulence is unlimited and which is eternal. But unfortunately, what is it? We don't have, right? Durdaivam idrisham ihajani nanu ragaha. But we are so foolish that we are attracted to all of the things of this material world, but we are not attracted to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna. And then now Bob Cohen is continuing to ask some questions. Let's continue to read. Who wants to read? Any one more person? We'll end now 6:40, 5 more minutes. And then we'll end with Harinam Sankirtan. Anyone wants to read? Okay, now Kishori Mataji, you read. Then I'll read Prabhupada. Yes.
Okay, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Mataji. Supreme Personality of Godhead is the reservoir of all pleasure. Raso Vaishaha, everyone is hankering after someone because he realizes some mellow in it. Excuse me?
Some mellow. Suppose a man is drinking. Why is he drinking? He is getting some mellow out of that drinking. A man is hankering after money because by possessing money, he gets a mellow out of it.
What does mellow mean?
How do they define mellow? Okay, anyone wants to read Shyamasundar? Okay, fine. So Shyamasundar Prabhu is saying taste or pleasure?
Okay.
Pleasing taste. So the Vedas say raso vai saha. The exact translation of mellow is rasa. Malati, Shyamusundar's wife, enters with a tray of food. What is that? Malati, eggplant fried. Oh, all attractive, all attractive. Okay, Shyamasundar Prabhu saying, how is Krishna the greatest scientist? because he knows everything. A scientist is one who knows the subject matter thoroughly. He is a scientist. Krishna, he knows everything.
I am presently a science teacher.
Yes, teaching. But unless you have perfect knowledge, how can you teach? That is our question.
Without perfect knowledge, though, you can teach.
That is cheating. That is not teaching. That is cheating. Just like the scientists say, there was a chunk and the creation took place. Perhaps, maybe, what is this? Simply cheating. It is not teaching, it is cheating.
Let me repeat what you said this morning. That was interesting. I asked about miracles, and you said that only a fool would believe in miracles because let us say, and you are a child and an adult lift this table. That's a miracle. Or you are a chemist and you combine acid and base and you make smoke, an explosion or whatever. To somebody ignorant, that's a miracle. But for everything there is a process, and so when you see a miracle, it's just ignorance of the process. So that you only a fool would believe in miracles, and you correct me if I say wrong.
Yes, yes.
You said when Jesus came, the people then were somewhat more ignorant and needed miracles as aid. I wasn't sure if that's quite what you said.
Yes, yes. Miracles are for the ignorant.
I had asked this is relation to all the miracle men you hear about in India.
Krishna is the highest miracle man.
Yes.
That is stated by Kunti.
Without perfect knowledge, can I not teach some things? For example, I may.
You can teach up to the point you know.
Yes, but I should not claim to teach more than I know.
Yes, that is cheating. Shyam Sundar Prabhu. Okay, so we'll stop here. So this is a very beautiful discussion wherein Prabhupada is saying, if you do not, Hare Krishna, thank you, Mataji. Right, so Prabhupada is saying, if you do not know, oh, Nagavani Mataji, I didn't see your hand raised, Mataji, sorry. Okay, so what was I saying? Yeah, so this is what Prabhupada is calling as cheating. What is this cheating? Because sometimes we claim to know some things that we actually don't know. Right? And in this way, what are we trying to do? That is why we are all human beings. We have the 4 defects. What are the 4 defects we were discussing in the morning? One is we are subject to illusion. We have imperfect senses. We have the tendency to commit mistakes, and we have the tendency to cheat. Right? Sometimes we like we were also giving the example of Vaishyas. Right? When they sell these products, what do they say? Oh, I'm not making any profit. I'm just giving it to you at loss, right? Because I'm making a loss, yet I want to give it to you. It's a pure lie, right? Who would do any business for loss, right? Because businessmen have to say something like that, right? What are they doing? They're actually cheating the customers, saying that I'm not taking any profit from you. Well, they're actually cheating the customers. So similarly, we are also trying to cheat others. Right? We try to act as if we know so many things when we actually don't know anything. So Prabhupada is saying, you can teach, but you should teach to the point of what you know. You should accept that I know only to a certain kind of limit. Beyond that, I don't know. If you're truthful, then you can teach. But here, then Mr. Bob is actually going to ask something. Can I also teach some things I don't know? And then Prabhupada is going to very emphatically, Prabhupada is going to say that it is cheating. We should not claim to know something that we actually don't know. That is actually cheating. So with this, we will end with a little bit of Harinam Sankirtan. So I thank all the devotees who joined us and also participated in reading. Nagavani Mataji, please join us tomorrow. We can start with you on the reading process. And all the chapters are dialogues, right? So if we have 3-4 devotees and we can all read together. One can be Prabhupada, one can be Shyam Sundar Prabhu, one can be Malti Mataji, one can be Mr. Bob Cohen, like that. So it is more of a dialogue where, there is more spice like that when we do it, rather than one person read it. So that's what we'll do. So we'll request more devotees to participate and read from our next sessions. Hare Krishna. So we have 16 devotees. My sincere gratitude to all of you. This is a very, very important book. It will clarify a lot of our doubts as we study this book. And, if there are any questions also, we can discuss at the end of the session after we do Harinam Sankirtan. Hare Krishna. So thank you all for your darshan also. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Shla Gurudeva ki Jai, Ananta Koti Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai. Nama Om Vishnu Padhaya Krishna Preshaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Pinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Shatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nitya Nanda Sri Advaita Gadadara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Radha Rasa Bihari Radha Rasa Bihari Radhe Jaya Radha Madhav Radhe Jaya Radha Shama Sundar Radha Shama Sundar Radha Shama Sundar Shri Radhe Jaya Krishna Balaram Jaya Krishna Balaram Jaya Krishna Balaram Jaya Krishna Balaram Jaya Radhe Sham Jaya Vrindavana Dham Jaya Radhe Sham Jaya Vrindavana Dham Jaya Jaya Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Sudarshan Jaya Panchatattva Jaya Panchatattva Jaya Panchatattva Jaya Panchatattva Jaya Prahlad Nrsimha Jaya Prahlad Narsingadaya, Prahlad Narsingadaya, Prahlad Narsingadaya, Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Gurudev, Gurudev, Nitai, Gora Hari Bol, Gora Hari Bol, Gora Hari Bol, Gora Hari Bol. राम संकीर्तन की जय, जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, श्रील गुरुदेव की जय, अनंत कोटि गौर भक्तवृंद की जय, सामेत भक्तवृंद की जय. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories, all glories, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. So thank you all for joining in. In case anyone has any queries or wants to share any realizations, then you can do so now. Otherwise, we'll meet tomorrow morning, Brahma Murta chanting session. And then we will meet again in the evening, sharp at 6 p.m. For our Srila Prabhupada's book study, which is Perfect Questions and Perfect Answers. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Yes, Hare Krishna.
Mataji, you have everyday class? This reading class every day?
Yeah, Mataji. So we are reading Srila Prabhupada's book. We'll be reading every day in the evening, 6 o'clock. This will continue this book. We've completed like 7 books by the mercy of Guru and Gauranga. Like we finished a couple of books like Krishna, the Reservoir of Pleasure, small books we've been reading. So now we are,
Mataji, 12:45 has been changed to 6 o'clock. Mataji?
so from now we'll be doing 6 to 6:45 p.m. Prabhupada book study. And
Thank you,
morning
Mataji.
was the same time, 5 to 6.
I was not able to attend the 12:45 session today. I was very feeling worried. Then by God's grace, I joined Mataji. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yes, Mataji,
So
thank
this
you.
is the time that we will meet from tomorrow. So I request devotees to kindly join us. The more, the merrier. It is to discuss Srila Prabhupada's books. And we'll please Srila Prabhupada by distributing Prabhupada's books. And Prabhupada is more pleased when we are reading his books. Prabhupada said, you should read my books scrutinizingly. And in this way, by reading Srila Prabhupada's book, our lives will get transformed. From Bhoga Vritti, we will get transformed to Seva Vritti. And that is the way we can attain Krishna Prema.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Haribol, Mataji, very nice, Mataji. God has made me to hear your lecture, Mataji, your sessions. Thank you, Mataji. I'm very happy. I'm very happy.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
I mean, you are very enthusiastic. Hare Krishna. Yes.
Mataji, I was
Thank
just
you,
asking, you were mentioning that you've already done 8 books of Srila Prabhupada. 7
Yeah,
books.
7.
And this is
I
the
was
8th.
thinking it's an recorded YouTube. I on and YouTube only is
Mataji,
like that.
1 minute,
I was
Mataji,
thinking.
I'm talking. Please hold on 1 second. So, Mataji, you were mentioning that 7 books you've already been reading, no, Mataji, and you were saying that it has to be in an order that Srila, somebody you said who has referred.
I'll post in the group whatever books we've read. See, every book of Prabhupada, even if we read one purport, right, of Bhagavad Gita or whatever, Prabhupada gives the entire essence, right? Because Prabhupada was not sure at that particular point in time, how long he will live. That's why if we read the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, in every purport, Prabhupada, whenever he says Hare Krishna Mahamantra, he says Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Although there is a specific order that is given, we can read perfect questions and perfect answers. We can start with this book also. And you can refer to the YouTube channel for the other books also. I will give in the group also, Mataji, the books that we've read until now, 7 books. And then this will be our next 8th book, Perfect Questions, Perfect Answers. And slowly we'll move towards Bhagavad Gita. Right? Bhagavad Gita comes after many, many books. Right? There's Science of Self-Realization. There is a Second Chance. So many books are there. And then we'll come to Bhagavad Gita. And then slowly we'll move on to Bhagavatam. Like that we will go ahead. Okay, Mataji?
And this was referred by whom, Mataji?
Mataji, one request, Mataji. Can you put this book in a PDF form, Mataji? Then we can print it out, take and print out, Mataji.
No, you can. It is there in prabhupadbooks.com. The link that I'm sharing, I've shared it in the WhatsApp group. You can copy paste in Word and convert it into PDF, Mataji.
Okay.
Yes, Mataji. Yes, thank you. Mataji. Yes.
Mataji, you are mentioning about who has asked us to read in this. Some Goswami you referred, Mataji. Sorry, I didn't get that.
This is ISKCON Pune Temple President, His Grace Radheshyam Prabhu.
Okay.
He's a very, very senior disciple of his own, Radhanath Swami Maharaj.
Okay.
He's given us this prescribed order because Prabhupada also says that you should not rush to the 10th canto of Bhagavatam.
Yes,
Right? There is
Mataji.
an order in which we have to study the books, and it is good that we study in that order. But Prabhupada's books, we need not be so strict because Prabhupada has given the entire essence in every book of his. That's why even Krishna book we read, right? Krishna book is the 10th canto of Bhagavatam. We read Krishna book even before we complete Bhagavad Gita also. So we can read Prabhupada's books because Prabhupada has knows our limitations in mind as he's giving the purports. So we can read Prabhupada's books. You can join us, Mataji. Even if you have not read the 7 books, you can still join us and read with us from this book. Is it okay, Mataji?
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Dandavata Pranam, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranams to all the devotees. Please join us at 6 o'clock and then we'll continue with where we...
Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Dandavat pranam,
I
Mataji,
don't know,
dandavat
from
pranam.
past 18 days, I'm joining at 12:45, 1 o'clock, but your class will not be there, Mataji. 1 or 2
No.
Mataji will be there.
No,
and
no, see, we were reading Monday to Friday, Mataji, and between 12:45 and 1 the class, but now we will stick to this timing, 6 to 6:45, right? We will do 6 to 6:40 study, and then last 5 minutes we'll do Harinam Sankirtan. And Mataji, if you miss the sessions, you can also check it in the YouTube channel, Mataji, because every day we've been doing Monday to Friday, and we posted, we've gone live also. You can check it in the YouTube channel. Okay, Mataji?
Okay.
And tomorrow
Thank
we'll
you,
start
Mataji.
with you, Mataji. Nagavani Mataji, I just missed to call out your name. Then I saw your hand raised up. So tomorrow we'll start with you. Okay, Mataji?
Thank you, Mataji, dandavat pranam.
Thank you,
Hare
Karpagvali
Krishna.
Mataji ki jai. Very enthusiastic devotee. She
Yes,
actually
Mataji.
distributed 3 Bhagavatams
Yes, ma'am.
during the
all the devotees have got that book, Mataji. Today I rang up to them and everybody received them and very happy. And I told one of my, she is my cousin's wife. I told her daily read at least 5 pages. Daily read 5 pages. And that one first can you start from the first
join us
candle.
for Prabhupada books, Mataji. This will give a good foundation to her. Ask her to join
Yes,
us at 6
Mataji.
o'clock in the evening.
Yes, Mataji, I will tell her, Mataji. I will send the link, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji. Dandavat
Hare
pranam.
Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Ananta
Jai.
Koji Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Meet you tomorrow morning for Brahma Murta chanting and then in the evening for Prabhupada book study. Hare